All right. Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Lady Simone. I am here alongside with your main man, Mo, and we are the With All Due Respect podcast. I am like overly excited to bring you guys a new spin-off, and this episode is called One-Sided Question. So, since it's new, I'm gonna just let you know briefly exactly what we are talking about, and it's so cool because Mo doesn't even know
this is
what
really
is going on. So, pretty much it's one question, many answers. I know the question. Mo does not know the question. I did my research. I reached out to some beautiful and amazing women, and we kind of got together and gave our opinion about this. So I'll be reading what they have to say. Plus, during the episode, Mo will be reaching out to some dudes about the question so we can kind of get their viewpoint. And as you guys take this journey with us on our episodes of One-Sided Questions, there will be some episodes where I don't know what's going on and Mo does, so he gets that male perspective and I have to bring in that female perspective. So continue to rock with us regardless, because you never know, you may be getting a phone call from one of us. So we're going to dive right in. Okay, the question is, why do you think men feel like if they cheat, women should forgive them, but if a woman cheat, they can't come back from that? So it's almost just like he cheats, she stays, she cheats, he leaves. So, what do you got for me, Mo?
Honestly, I don't feel like that. I think everyone's entitled to a mistake, because in the midst of life, things happen, right? People get lost when you're in a marriage. Even when you're in just a committed relationship, it doesn't have to be a marriage. You actually get lost when you're sitting there, when you're focused on trying to get something done. You may be working overtime or multiple jobs to actually make ends meet, not to just pay bills, but I want to take my family on vacation. I want to get my wife this car. I want to get my son this opportunity to AAU or whatever the case might be, as we did with our son Malik. So I believe you can get lost, and I do believe people make mistakes. We make mistakes all the time. Even as far as getting a ticket, you will want the cop to ask, like, really, man, come on, man, I'm just really trying to. So I believe, but if you make the same mistake repeatedly, it's not a mistake anymore. At that point, it's a habit.
Okay.
So that's the way that I view that. Right.
Okay, so you look at it as it's just that, you're entitled for that one. But I'm gonna tell you now, the way that things work, and I don't know, for me, situations that I've heard of is that when men have an incident to where they cheat, they're expecting women to keep forgiving them. And then, even if that man is the first person that step out, usually that woman forgives. Usually that's just without a shadow of doubt. Then, on the other hand, we have where a woman steps out on a man first. A man can't come back from that.
Right, because his ego is bruised at that point. I believe his ego is bruised at that point right there, because I think the way society has it, or the narrative is that, a man can sleep with multiple women and he's considered a man. A woman sleeps with outside of her relationship and she's damaged goods at that point. So it takes a lot for a man to actually be able to fathom the fact that there was someone else pleasing his significant other, but him even being selfish to be like, okay, you were pleasing a plethora of women. So it's just one of those, the male ego is very delicate.
I'm glad you
Very
said that.
delicate.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna insert this right here. And like I said, prior, I reached out to a couple of amazing women, and I'm gonna tag them in the video. And one person said that she believes that it's a pride thing. And she said a man could cheat 1,000 times and get caught. A woman would cheat once and he would never let her forget what she did. So when she mentioned the whole thing about pride, like you said, it's the ego. That kind of goes side and side, like hand in hand. Because a man, it's almost like if your homeboys know, like your woman step out on you, you can't come back from that. But then a woman can be amongst other women, your homeboys and everything, they can know they cheat, but you expect her to walk in that room and own it like y'all just the ultimate couple, and that's what men do. So it was another thing too.
Not all men.
I won't say all men, exactly. I'm not gonna say all men, and that's when when I actually pulled from this question, it was so interesting, because I'm like, when you really think about it, this is a cycle that kind of happens a lot of the times when you talk to females who are males who have went through that.
Let me add something to that narrative. Sometimes, on both sides of it, individuals individual in that couple, in that relationship, can actually be pushed to actually step out because they're filling a void that the other person, and maybe even at one point in time, actually had, but then they no longer are with that. For some
Okay.
odd reason. Maybe growth, maybe laziness, or whatever the case might be. So at some points, there are some situations where I feel that you're forced to.
I won't say, and now that's why I have to disagree with you on.
That's fine.
Because I can't say that you're forced necessarily. Only now, when it comes to that point,
Maybe force is the wrong word.
this is what my viewpoint on that is. That's why it's so important to communicate.
Mhm.
It's so important to have that conversation.
What happens when you do communicate time and time? And
Then
time
when
and
you
time
when you
again?
communicate time and time and time and time, and you see nothing changes,
Mhm.
then I feel that you go to that person and you say, listen, I have to disconnect myself.
Okay.
So before I replace, my dignity and do things outside of who I am and what I would normally not do,
You don't want to compromise yourself.
exactly, I'm gonna remove myself.
Right.
So now the thing you gotta understand, a lot of times what people get misconstrued is when you remove yourself from a situation, one or two things gonna happen. A person is gonna look back and be like, oh, she real serious. Like I really gotta work towards this. Or he's real serious, I gotta work towards this.
So there's a value that has been established.
Yes, and they'll try to figure that out. But as far as like staying in something, because I'm not one to feel like I'm gonna stay in this and I'm repeat myself over and over and over. And once you already just let it go, and this person not trying to change, then I'm gonna just step out. No, before I actually do the stepping out, I'm gonna know that I did everything that I could do. It's just like, you know what I'm saying, like they say, it's that order of what is it called? Chain of command. It's just like that, I think, when it comes to relationship, and when it comes to the communication side, that's what that is too. But I wanted to highlight something that another one of my friend girls said that was that kind of was real. What she said, I believe that men cannot forgive a woman if she cheats because he feels embarrassed. So hold on to the word embarrassed, as if he wasn't enough for her. It questions his manhood, his purpose of being in that relationship. Men believe that a woman is his property. I'm highlighting these words because when I read it, I was like, and no other man should touch her. Men are not capable to deal with hurt and pain, nor with the consequences of it. Men believe that it's okay for them to cheat and women to take them back because we have the ability to deal with hurt and pain and all the consequences that's come with it, lies and reasons. And women are very forgiving and very loyal, especially if love plays a part of it. Men cannot take the pressure of losing a woman, especially a good woman, because he knows the qualities he will be losing.
Okay.
Now, what would you say regarding that? Which a lot was said within that.
I'm
Just pull from what kind of stood out to you.
Well, as far as their pride, we actually just spoke on that with the first response from one of your homegirls. So it seemed like it's going to be a repeating, even as we go further into this right here. We're going to repeat that one thing. Man, ego is being bruised.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an ongoing thing right there, a running response. So when you actually say as far as the property is concerned, when you think property, you think of ownership. So it's almost like cattle, almost like my car or my home or something of that nature. But I would think respectfully that's on both ends of it too.
Yeah, because as much as a man values that woman as and wants to say that's mine,
right?
A woman wants to be owned. But
absolutely.
she wants that.
And the woman also wants to say that's mine too. Like when your man walks into a room, may be an event, and he came late, but then when he walks into the room stops and everybody's looking at him, maybe male or female, because the women are attracted to him, and the males want to be like that individual. Like, what, I want to command the room such as he did when he came through the door. That makes you proud. You're sitting there like, that's right. That's mine. Yeah, right there.
I agree.
So it's the same essence of when you say property, it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? So I can't disagree with as far as that right there, the property is concerned. Because you have my last name. So just a joke wise, like, I own you. You have my last name from a joking standpoint.
Yeah.
So what was one other point? There was a word prior to that you said. Remember that? What was it?
As far as like men being embarrassed.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And she said something as far as the manhood. So at that point, we're talking more of an intimate situation, more of this is an adult show, also a family show. So I'm trying to figure out a way of cleaning it up. So we're talking something as far as making
pleasing, as being able to please that. Like I something.
No, it's not even so much about pleasing, actually. No, it is, but the first thing pleasing will probably be number 2.
Okay.
And we know what the first question is going to be. Was he? Was he more endowed than I am?
Yeah.
That's the first question. That's probably the only thing that's running through that man's head at first. Was he more endowed than I am? Then later on down the line, it'd be like, okay, was it more pleasing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in that point, it depends on the female or the male, whoever decides to step out, as far as what triggers them. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, every woman don't want a well-endowed man, and every man doesn't want a over-experienced woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would say that right there.
Okay. So I got another couple of things I got tucked in. So I wanted to insert right here on this episode. I want you to call one of your guy friends. We don't even have to say his name, but I want him to hear the question. I want us to kind of get his viewpoint on the question. And then I'm going to insert what two of my females say. Insert is like the word, like I'm gonna just put it right here. Insert, like that's the word of this episode.
That's the name of this episode.
So I want you to kind of call him. I'll ask him the question, and then we'll kind of jump into this thing. All right, guys. So Mo has called on. Introduce who you called.
We got Quinton Greer, aka Q, aka Mr. Always Remain Solid, aka Mr. 19 Below Zero, aka Pretty Above All, aka Cam from the Tools Project.
Yeah.
Welcome. How y'all doing?
All right, we're good. So, Q, I'm going to tell you, we do have this episode. It's like a spin-off with me and Mo, and it's called One-Sided Question. So pretty much what it is that I came up with a question that I kind of reached out to some of my friend girls, and I asked them their opinion about the question. So I'll be reading some of the things that they responded to me with throughout the episode, and I knew all about the question. Mo did not have a clue, so therefore his job is to call 2 people within the episode, or how many ever, which it'll be 2 this episode, but it would vary between episodes. So on One-Sided Question, we want to get your opinion. I'm going to read the question, and I'm going to read what a friend girl of mine said. So I want you to pull from that question and tell me what is your opinion, okay?
Q had nothing to do with this.
All right, let's go. Let's get it.
All right. So the question is, why do you think men feel like if they cheat, women should forgive them, but if a woman cheats, they can't come back from that? So I want you to think about that question. You're going to answer that because it's 2 parts. And I had a friend girl who said, her exact word was, girl, I can go on and on about this topic. Men are punks. And she said, but to keep it simple, I feel that they know they can sleep with another woman and it be nothing more than just sex. But when we do it, they know majority of the time feelings are involved. So, tell me, Mr. 19 Below, always remain solid. What is your opinion?
Y'all so funny. Y'all always remain solid. I got you.
You want to know my take on that?
Yes.
All right, so I think she's borderline right. I think that men do things out of accident because we need to get something out quick. I think women are emotional, and that's how men at least view women. So when a man sees a woman cheat, especially a man that loves the girl that actually made a mistake and do cheat on her, I think he knows she's emotional, and she will have a certain type of attachment. Because we don't think as women that we choose to wife up or we choose to have relationships with to be Tatiana. We think that they're the most humble, the most sweet. We tend to think that they're always or. We don't want our women to have the mentality that a quote unquote man has. So if they do cheat on us, the reason why we can't take them back is because we now view you with that mentality of something like we have, and we don't want that. We want something that we would hope that would be better than the mentality that we have. So that's the reason why we're so quick to say, nah, like, yeah, I might have messed up, but you were like, nah, you're supposed to be that pure thing that I had in life, and once it's tainted, I can't go back to that because you're just like everybody else now.
Oh, okay. Mr. Pretty Above All. Yes. Thank you.
Gentlemen, he held us down,
Yeah. So that was definitely actually a very good way of you kind of analyzing that right there and giving us a different viewpoint. And that's the beautiful thing about this conversation is that to be able to look at it from different angles. There's no right or wrong, you know what I'm saying? But our thing is just,
no,
getting
definitely with a
these
female in this situation right here, y'all would consider this being a wrong answer.
Yeah, I mean, but hey,
no, that doesn't make any sense. It's stupid.
No, but at the end of the day, it's good for us as females to hear how men think about this, and it's good for us to actually
y'all always
put
tell
out
us
how we think.
Y'all always tell us we're stupid.
But I mean, since childhood, since childhood, it was said. Girls, men are from
Venus, girls are from Mars or something like that. It's either that or the other way around. Girls are from Mars, men are from Venus.
Jupiter, because
Something
y'all
like
are stupider. Something like that.
Okay.
I can't even think of it. But it's something like that.
Shit.
But
she was just looking for a reason to call me stupid.
No. And we were, like I said, it was told to us since we were young. But Q, thank you so much. We're gonna push along. We have one more, and
but
then
also with that right there, with us trying to validate our train of thought, y'all will still go otherwise. Y'all still will see the other side. That's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I won't say that.
We're not asking y'all to understand. You asked us a question. So in order to be understood, you have to understand.
But just like I said earlier on in the episode, it's one of those things to where it's so important for us to communicate and hold these conversations, because when we do feel like one person wants to step out, the other person wants to step out, you have to have such a solid relationship to where I can communicate that to you and let you know, like, listen, I don't feel like I'm being pleased, or I don't feel like, this is going anywhere, and I'm really thinking about just kind of letting this go.
And when you say please, most women aren't even speaking sexually.
Exactly.
They're speaking about, I want to go out on a date.
Yes, I want you to just, that's so you think about it.
They actually deal with the incompetence of a man when it comes down to the sex.
Yes.
Maybe any whatever details that we will leave out, but
because we got to understand, and I'll insert this here too. Oh my God, the word insert. I'm so sorry. But I would say too, women, as far as women, we are so emotional. Men have to understand that, you know what I'm saying, we need more than just sex. A relationship is not just sex. Somebody who can say, you know what, my relationship, that's it. That's all it is. Like, you don't have that true bonded relationship because you need a friend. You need a supporter. That's subjective.
That's subjective.
Well, it depends, but from a woman's point of view, we're so full of so many other things. There's so many different things we pull from.
Nowadays, the women nowadays, they block that natural emotion that y'all have. So now the women are acting like men. And
but why? We gotta ask ourselves why. Now that's another conversation, because we didn't go on and on. We're trying to keep this episode kind of like, under, but we're going to get back to that. Because you got to look at why women are acting the way that they're acting.
Why are women acting like men and men acting like women?
Woo!
Because it goes both
Another episode. We're going to move right along.
What you say, Q?
I like this.
Yo, Q, I'm going to holler at you later, man. We're about to make another call.
All right, peace.
All right. So there you have it. We had Mr. Quinton Greer speaking in on a conversation. We're about to call someone else. We're going to get their viewpoint on what they think about this topic, and then we're going to close this thing out. So hold tight. All right, guys. Here we are back again. So Mo decided to call the one and only cousin Kenny. Hello.
Kenny in the house.
Yeah. So,
I have no idea what we got ourselves into.
What's going on?
Okay, so Cousin Kenny, we have an episode that me and Mo is doing, and it's kind of spin-off with the podcast. It's a show called One-Sided Question. And pretty much what One-Sided Question is, one person knows the question, does research, reach out to, I reached out, I knew the question, I reached out to some female friends of mine. Mo had no idea, and his job throughout the episode is to call some male friends of his to get their viewpoint. So what I will do is read the question to you, and then I'm going to read what one of my friend girls said about the topic, and then I want to hear what you have to say, okay?
All right.
Okay, so first off, the question is, why do you think men feel like if they cheat, women should forgive them? But if a woman cheats, they cannot come back from that. Now, This is what a friend girl of mine said. Because men are selfish and want to feel in control of everything. Because they know women are the go to every problem and every solution, or the go-to to every problem and every solution. And she says men don't have what it takes to be a woman. We are nurturers and caregivers. We are the upholders of our relationship. So to feel that if a woman cheat, we gave everything away, that made us the most powerful of our relationship. So can you tell me, what do you think about the question and kind of like what she said?
I believe she had some good points, and there were some points I didn't agree with. I don't think it's because we're selfish or because we want to be dominant in a situation like that. I mean, so men are not necessarily the sports. Okay, so physically we're made to be the stronger being. Women are the nurturers, the carers, you know. So, but that's not. I'm trying to figure out how to word it or where I should go with it. But one thing when you said the whole coming back after a woman cheats, it's kind of like I'm giving a male viewpoint, not a woman. So I kind of feel like if you give away my goods, it's like almost like your woman or your wife or your girlfriend, what they have is sacred. It's like a jewel, like, and you know what I'm saying? It's like you give it away. You give. I mean, it you know, to us it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? And also, women are not saying the men aren't, but women are emotional beings. So generally, 9 out of 10 times when they cheat, if there was feelings to it, you know, they gave away more than just a box. They gave away a piece of their heart, their mind, like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't just do it to do it. Whereas a male may cheat just on the humble, just because he could, or in a bad moment, in a point of weakness, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own reasons for doing it. But 9 out of 10 times when a woman gives themselves away, for them to even go there, if they had to be feeling that guy in some type of way. And with us knowing that, you know, that plays I think a major part. To me, that's my opinion on that. Like, you know, it's I don't know. It's for a woman, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Am I making any sense?
Oh no, I get you. And a lot of men feel that way. And the whole point of the episode is, and just the conversation is to kind of give those different viewpoints. And a lot of things that I hear, I don't know if you agree, is that men feel like
it's an ongoing response.
Yes, and pretty much.
I touched on it. Q hit directly on it, as well as Cousin Kenny's hit directly on it.
And the big thing about it is they feel like women will be emotionally connected and giving away a little more, whereas men feel like if they cheat, they can disconnect themselves from that woman. But then what we have to look on, what you have to also keep in mind as well, and this is another episode, we won't dig too much into it, is as much as that man feels like he can kind of draw himself away from that, what about the other woman on the other side of that? So now you're dealing with two emotional women and a man that felt like he can take himself away, but this woman may be dragging him back because now you're dealing with two women at this time. So we can't take that out of the picture as well. But like I say, that's another episode. I wanted to kind of get other people's opinion. You know what?
I'm in agreement with both my brothers, Q and Cousin Kenny. But there was something that she said as far as she said something like the woman runs the relationship, something along those lines. And she said like they're the foundation. They lead the relationship. I don't agree with that. Even from a biblical sense, it stands man, woman, and child. If we are speaking from a biblical sense, I do believe in most situations women give more than a man does. I mean, because you're a mother, you're a wife. You know what I mean? I do believe that you sacrifice more of yourself at times in that relationship right there. But that does not give a female the right to discredit a male.
No, because, and I don't think.
No, but you got some women do.
Who think that?
No.
But this is what I'm saying.
But even as far as the society, you look at how much Mother's Day is championed. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
I agree.
there's a
I
lot of
see
there's a
what
lot
you're
of
saying.
different avenues and resources that are actually tapped into and geared upon for Mother's Day. Father's Day,
Right.
you get socks and a tie.
And I think from what she was saying, just in her defense, which I'm not 100% sure, so I can only speak on how I felt that what she meant was that as women, we put down that foundation. Men, yes, I wholeheartedly believe that men is that you're that number
That pillar,
one. Yes,
the pillar.
it's like that man right there. If you got a man that supports your family and that stands by you, it's like you got
And
something
honestly,
right there.
ultimately,
And I feel
everything
like
is built around that man.
Yes,
Because without that
but-
man, you would not be a mother.
But the thing
Right,
is,
right. It's two roles. I mean,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? The woman is given the woman role, and those are not necessarily. I mean, I hate to use that word duties, but those are her duties, and the male has his duties. So you can't discredit one from the other. You can't give one more power than the
Right,
other.
it's
So
that's
female
right.
It's almost
plays her
like-
role in a relationship as well as the male. The male is the you know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, Bible or go back. You know what I'm saying? The male, you know, the woman took care of the house and the kids, and the man went out and he made the
It's that
money.
provider.
And
He
the
killed.
food, and you know what I'm saying? And that's just, I mean, a lot of households are different now. Females are working mostly. I mean, the world has changed, so it's hard to survive on a one-income household. So the world has changed, but still, those are female duties given. You know, and the male, you know.
Matter of fact, let's not.
Used to be the breadwinner, you know.
I'm gonna come in.
You can't.
I'm gonna come in and clean up Cousin Kenny. We won't say duties. We'll say responsibilities.
Okay,
Because
it's just a choice of words.
But
Yeah.
but I definitely see
See,
women
yeah.
come in and say, "No,
That's not my duty."
No, it's
It's a
responsibility.
I
And
guess-
honestly,
yeah.
we didn't create this playbook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This right here was already preordained, already drawn
Mhm.
out for us. So we're just actually following the game plan and following suit as far as
Yeah.
the position and the roles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying when it comes into that.
Yeah. But ultimately, just like, we said, there's so many different things we can pull from this conversation. And man, it's been an amazing conversation. And Cousin Kenny, we thank you so much for your comment. And we will definitely be checking with you again. So thank you.
I think Cousin Kenny gonna be a fan
Thank you for
favorite.
having me on anytime. Thank
Yes,
And
yes.
y'all, actually, y'all, this is the second time we had Cousin Kenny on. We had Cousin Kenny on in the early stages.
Yep.
But all right then, my man. We'll talk to you. Love you.
All right.
All right. So.
You didn't tell me you love me back.
So thank you guys for sitting in with us. We're gonna wrap it up. Pretty much like you all see, this conversation can kind of go so many different ways. There's so many different elements to this conversation. There's so many different levels to this. It kind of can take us in so many different directions. And this is our first episode of One Question and Many Answers. And Mo is going to end on what he has to end with, and then that'll be it, guys.
I just would like to say, as far as for the individuals that call, for the individuals that actually text you from the female standpoint and one from the male standpoint on my behalf, including myself as well, these are all opinionated answers.
Oh, yes,
these are just our
absolutely.
answers. These aren't in stone. So there's no need within the comments to potentially attack anybody on any side of this right here. These are just our opinions. And that's ultimately what we just like to give on this right here platform, with all due respect, podcast, to where we actually offer transparency through conversation.
And that's ultimately what it's all about. Just being
So food for
transparent,
thought, baby.
doing conversation, and being able to put out what we think and how we feel, and just share that, because there's so many different opinions out there. And I think it's very important for us to just touch on that, because you never know who is in the same boat as you, who feel the same way, or you never know, somebody else can change your way of thinking. So that's the beautiful thing about growth, the beautiful thing about conversation. So as I said, this is
And
our
you're
first.
entitled, and the listeners are entitled to their opinion.
Oh,
You're
yes,
just not
absolutely.
You're just not entitled to force
Yeah,
your opinion.
yeah. Because if everybody was the same, like
Boring.
how boring would that be? So like I said, this is our first episode of One Sided Questions. Do you want to end on anything?
Man, I appreciate it. This is a little bit different.
Yeah. See, Mo gotta be quiet.
Yeah, I got the first. I'm sitting here listening.
Yes.
And all honesty, I did not know the direction she was going
No.
into. Y'all found
No.
out right when I found out.
Yes.
So you got a real raw answer from myself. And,
Yes. And that's how it would actually go. That's how these episodes would
that's how
go.
it was actually
So yeah. So be on the lookout. Like I said, we will call here and there. You know, you never know if you'll get a phone call from the With All Due Respect podcast. We thank you so much for checking us out.
So next time it's Margot, right?
Next time it is Mo. So my ladies, I will actually be making some phone calls. So thank you guys so much for checking it. Please, please, please like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. We have a website, www.monosproductions.com. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out, like Facebook page. Just, you know, we got a lot of things going on. A lot of things. We're going to shout out just a couple of things. We have Hope Jones here. Shout out to Pretty Above All. Shout out to Fit for a King. Shout out to the Tools Project. Guys, just stick with us. We thank you so much for sticking with us for this long. And until next time, we will see y'all. I am your girl, Lady Simone. This is your main man, Mo. We're out.
Yes.
All right, guys. This is your girl, Lady Simone. And pulling from that episode, I thank you guys for sitting in and listening. I have a poem that I wrote. So it is entitled, Never Disclose. I'm going to pour this all out to let you know how hard it is to never disclose. It happened. You admitted it. And now I have to face the one person that I thought loved me beyond my flaws, desired me beyond my messiness, and perfected me despite my imperfections. I have to face the truth of my desires to love another man the way I was supposed to love you. I have to look you in the eyes knowing I allowed my body to intertwine with the fullness of another man's soul. I allowed another man to enter into my universe as I placed you to the side out of revenge. I parted ways with my beliefs in order to hurt you in the way you hurt me. I stared lust in the eyes and challenged every history we ever had. I did it. I can say I loved it, but I can say I thought I loved it, but honestly, I didn't enjoy it. I got stuck between my emotions and my dignity. I got stuck between my feelings and my pain. I conformed to your ways in hopes of making you feel the brokenness of my heart. I stand and I stare at you. As I look at you, I know what you did to me, but you have no idea what I did to you. I pretend that I'll forgive you and we can put it behind us. I pretend that our love would overcome any infidelity you brought into our relationship. I pretend because I hold on to something deeper. I pretend because as I stare at the happiness that once was, I created a file labeled Never Disclose. I stare knowing although you broke our bond first, I engaged in lust outside of me, but I'll never disclose it. And that poem pulled from the conversation as if a man cheated, and sometimes there's things to where women understands that they are so emotionally connected, just like a lot of men pointed out today, there's so many women that sits with that disclosed file. So guys, just understand, you know, the importance of communication, the importance of conversation. And I will add at the end my 3 C's: communication, conversation, and continuation. Because even after you communicate and continue to have these conversations, you have to keep doing it in order to make that relationship, you know, stick together and glue. You know, everybody change. Time change, people change. So if you have a problem within your relationship, try to talk it out and try to change it before actually making a decision to step out. So this is your girl, Lady Simone. Thank you guys so much for always rocking with me.
Good morning, Tools family. You guys are family because, you know, you like the page and you've been sharing. That's what family does. They support, man. And we can't thank you enough, man. This has been a dream come true for us to see a vision being played out in front of our eyes, man. And we cannot wait to share this amazing film with you guys, man. It's going to be impactful. It's going to be in your face. And it's going to be monumental for the upstate. The overall goal is just to bring people together with many different talents, many different backgrounds, many different ethnicities, many different walks of life to come together and create something from the upstate for the upstate. That's the main goal, man. God gave me this vision, and I'm running with it, man. And I thank God for the team that He has given me, man. But this is an independent film. Independent film means it's independently funded by the community. And that's where you guys come in. We need your help. We really want you guys to be a part of this project. Of course, we got the product placement. If you have a business or you got a product that you want to share. But also, we want to give you guys a chance to sow a seed into us, man. It really will bless us greatly with the lighting, the makeup, and all the stuff that we need to make this film possible. So check this out, man. We're doing something pretty dope. I think it's dope. We're doing a thing called I Got 5 on It. I got 5 on it. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. You know the song. That we asking everybody to donate just $5. If you have a family or a friend that's in the cast, support them by just donating $5. That's all we ask, man. And for doing that, we're gonna put your name up on the screen at the end of the movie. And we're going to scroll real slow so everybody can see the names that supported this film. And it's going to be shown in many different markets, and it's going to be shown across the world, man. So it's worth it. $5 to have your name on the screen seen by millions, and people are going to see your name, and you're going to pause it, and you're going to say, man, I had something to do with that. And we're only asking for $5, man, and we will put your name on the screen. We thank you for your continued support. We need your help, though. We need your support. Just $5, man. That's like a burger and a fry, or whatever the case may be. Just sow a seed of $5, man, and we will greatly appreciate it, man. And the premiere is coming next year, in January. We're going to start filming. It's going to be out before summertime, man. It's going to be pretty dope. We want you guys to be a part of it, man. So won't you just give $5, and you can feed a family today? I'm just joking, but just give $5, man. Let's just say I got 5 on it. Go to the GoFundMe link. It's a secure link, so you ain't got to worry about nobody finessing your bank account. $5. Donate $5 to the GoFundMe, man, and we will put your name on the screen at the end of the film. Cool? Will y'all do that today, man? Just think about it. Just pray on it. Get in your prayer closet. Just $5, man. Say I got 5 on it. Tools Project, next year, on the way. I can't wait for you guys to see it because it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm going to get off here before I spoil it. Hey, $5, man. $5. I love you guys. Peace.